A few months ago, I shared that one of the biggest surprises that I uncovered when I was going through this gray hair journey was that my hair actually curls and doesn't require any heat to do it. And I was not expecting that. And it was really only from watching videos by other women talking about their gray hair and mentioning the curly girl method. So I started to kind of go down that rabbit hole and watch videos on how people are curling their hair. And I kind of adapted it. I am not following the curly girl method. But when I filmed that video saying that I was surprised about my curly hair, I offered, do people want to know what I do? And a few of you said yes. So that is what we were doing in today's video. I'm going to talk about my curly hair routine. Now, as awkward as it felt, I recorded the different steps starting this morning. So I have, after the shower, the products that I use and kind of the method that I've adapted that I find works for me. And this is sort of the end result for the curls, whether or not you like it, that's your own opinion, but this is sort of what I have stuck to. So I'm going to show you that, and I will show you the different products that I use and sort of tell you about the ones that I use. And so without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so I am out of the shower. My hair just lightly towel dried, and usually I do this part in the washroom, but I can't figure out how to set up a camera near my mirror to make it, so I'm doing it here. We're just gonna do it here. But the first thing that I do after I have kind of gently towel dried my hair is to use my Olaplex number 6. Let's see if I can get up there. Come on. There we go. So this is a bond smoother, and I have been using this one actually since I decided to start taking better care of my hair, and just use a little. So if I just like a really little amount. So that's all. And kind of rub it in my hands and then just rub this in my hair, and I just kind of wing it. All right, so once that is nice and smooth into my hair, then I go on to my curl cream. So the curl cream that I like the most is VERB Curl Cream. There we go. And I'm about almost halfway through this one. So for this, I use a little bit more. So about this amount. And now, depending on where I am, sometimes I just do this on the side. The camera is going in and out. Kind of do this sideways to get it in the hair. Sometimes I'll flip over, but then once I've got it in, then I will just start to scrunch my hair. I usually do kind of one side at a time. So this is the first kind of curl step, so to speak. And yes, usually I do this in my washroom, not in this office / guest bedroom / where I run my workshops, etc. All right, so now I've got that in. I've kind of scrunched it. You can see there's just a little bit of a scrunch going on. And then I put in the gel. So I just use this guy. It's Fructis Pure Clean. It's affordable. It's pretty clean. Not a lot of ingredients. So I put in some gel, probably about this amount. I don't know how well you can see that. And then kind of same thing, kind of gently. I don't want to totally ruin all of the scrunching. So I'll just kind of do that side by side. Apparently my camera does not enjoy it when I move around this much. All right, so now we're scrunching and scrunching. And then flip to the other side and do the same. Scrunch, scrunch. Okay, so, and sometimes I'll flip over and scrunch up, but this is basically what I do. Now, if I was in a hurry, I would actually just stop here. So I would end with just doing my 3 products. So the Olaplex right after the shower, the Olaplex, the Bond. And then I would have my curl cream and my gel, and then I would just kind of go about my day and let my hair air dry. But my preferred way is a little bit extra, so there's another step. So I am going to actually take you for a little peek into the washroom of re-wetting and then squeezing the water out with the product and then plopping or wrapping my hair in a towel for around 10 minutes. So let's go there next. So I like to go back to the shower after I've put the product in, turn on a little water, and then I get my hair wet again. So really what I'm trying to do is just add some extra water to my hair, make sure that it gets wet enough. And once that is wet enough and I feel like I've got the hair saturated, then I will turn off the water and then I start to scrunch or squeeze out the excess water. So remember, the product is in here. I'm now just scrunching my hair and squeezing that extra water out. And I'll just do that a few times until I feel like I've got enough of the water out and I'm really just trying to reinforce those squishing and scrunching so that I get those curls. And then once I have done that to about where I think it's out, then I've got this towel just waiting on the side of the tub and I plop my head, that's what I hear people use the term, and I wrap it in a towel. It's a little microfiber towel that I have, and then I use a hair clip to just keep that closed, and that's my second step. Okay, so we're now back after about 10 minutes, and obviously, I mean, this is really cute, so I would want to stay in it all day, but you know, you don't want to ruin your hair. So I'm going to remove this. It has been around 10 minutes. That's usually about how long I wait with my hair kind of plopped into the towel. And so let's just see how it looks if we take it out. So I usually just kind of gently take it out of the towel and then just do a little bit of a shake with my hair. But you can see that it is pretty curly, and so it is more curly than when I just did the product alone and stopped. So really, when you dampen the hair and then squeeze it upside down, squeeze the water out while you have some of that product in there, that's a technique I have found works pretty well. And then keeping it upside down in that kind of curl formation in the towel for around 10 minutes really does help. So usually this is sort of my go-to if I have the extra time. So it is a few extra minutes on top of the regular, what I would do if I were in a rush. And then I would let this air dry and I can kind of play around with some of the pieces if I want to move it around a little bit. The other thing I'll say around this is that sometimes I will use a diffuser to speed up the drying a little bit, but because I'm prone to a lot of kind of baby hairs and flyaway hairs, I find it just exacerbates the problem and really makes them come out more. So I do prefer to just air dry. So I'll often do this in the morning and then just do my work while my hair's damp and it slowly dries. Now there is one more step when it's dry, so I'll come back when it's time for that step. So it's now been about 2 hours since my last update when my hair was wet. And so my hair is now, I would say 99% dry. There's just a little bit near the head that is still a bit damp, but I'm going to move on to the next step, which is to break the gel cast. Because I have the gel, it's kind of a little bit of that crunchy feeling, which I don't love. And so to break the cast, you can either just kind of crunch your hair and kind of break it, crunch it out that way. But I do like to use an oil. And there were two that I have tried, and honestly, I don't notice a huge difference. I like them both. So I just kind of alternate depending on what I feel like. So the first one is VERB Ghost Oil. And this is a nice one. This is a little bit thicker than the other, which is the Olaplex. And the Olaplex is number 7, and this is a bonding oil. So either of these are ones that you can use wet, but I also use at this point in the day. And this one is a lot thinner and I've had this for a while and it really only a couple of drops are needed. So today I'm going to use the VERB Ghost Oil and put a little bit of that in my hair to break the cast. So not a lot, just a little bit of the pump. You actually can't really see much of that at all. Rub it in my hands and then I just kind of take it and I just gently scrunch my hair and kind of just scrunch the gel cast so that it's not so stiff. And that's kind of all I do. Make sure I get the back a little bit. So yeah, this is the final step, which is usually done for me about 2 hours later. You get a little view of the top of my head. All right, so there we have it. So this is that last step and that final step of the curly hair process.